Eric, the fact that in his mind he's had two great centers to work with, Nick in New York, now you. I mean, hearing that from your new head coach, and just some thoughts on that and how things have gone for you this offseason.
That's a great compliment, and I appreciate that. Things are going well. I'm enjoying learning this offense. There's a lot of nuances, and it's challenged me daily to identify Rex's complex defense and Dennis's complex defense, and but it's refreshing, it's fresh, it's fun, and we're working each day.
What are those challenges like for a center? What do you?
There's a lot of moving parts, and we've talked about this in preparation for the Jets each year. The past however many years we've gone against Rex's defenses, there's multiple looks. With our defense, there's tremendous players across the board. Where you'd like to maybe slide a protection, you think, well, we're sliding away from Mario Williams now, so now we got to go the other way. Okay, Jerry Hughes is over there. Now what do we do? And it's created a lot of turmoil at times, but it's been fun trying to prepare each day for him.
Hey, what are your impressions of your fellow Louisville grad?
I think John's doing a great job for us, and the best thing he's doing is just getting better each day, working, doing exactly what he's coached, and he plays hard, and it's easy to work with a guy like that playing next to him, and I know the coaches are happy with that too.
You obviously you watch Louisville every game probably. Did you notice him when you're watching their games the last few years, and then thinking, hey, that'd be a good guy for us to get?
Yeah, he's been a 4-year starter, and I've worked out with their team in the offseason for the past however many years. So I've gotten to know John. I've watched him play a lot, and I've always been impressed with him. And I was definitely excited when we took him.
You can't control what's around you. Last year, though, you had 3 separate starters at left guard. You're starting out this camp kind of with a pattern of Miller on one side and Richie on the other. I know it's way early, but I mean, are you feeling any sense of stability, for sake of a better word?
Yeah, we haven't mixed up the lineup a whole lot, but I'd expect there to be. There's a lot of competition moving forward. There's no lineup set in stone yet, and that's good. That'll bring out the best in all of us, and I know all the 2s are working to get in with the 1s, and that'll provide a lot of competition. And without the pads on, it's tough to judge O-line. And assignment-wise, feet and hands, you can judge right now, but there's a lot of guys that go one way or the other once you put the pads on, and I'm anxious to see how that goes.
How does good guard play essentially, in simple terms, affect you?
Well, it affects me a lot because I'm in combination with them a lot, and them knowing exactly what to do on each play, and me vice versa for them, helps. And the more reps you can get with the guys, and the more in sync we can be, the better we'll be up front.
Eric, even though last year was, the first winning season that you experienced here, I know you and a couple of the other vets up front weren't 100% happy with how everything unfolded for you guys as a unit, maybe run game in particular. How do you guys feel coming into this season? How motivated are you to kind of rebound, even though you have some new pieces in some new places?
Yeah, I'm very confident moving forward, and you're right. We weren't extremely effective at all times last year, but we're working technique each day, trying to get better, learn this new scheme, and I'm very confident we'll have a great year.
Kromer's influence, it seems that he has been very well received by the balance of the offensive line room. What is it that impacted you guys early in this process in getting to know him and working with him?
Well, he brings a lot of knowledge with him. He's been around for a while, former offensive coordinator. He brings a lot of knowledge. He knows exactly what he wants and teaches us to do that, and that's helped us learn this scheme and do what the coaches ask us to do. And moving forward, we're just going to keep developing, keep putting new techniques in, give us more tools to work with, and I think we'll have a great year.
A lot of black and white, no gray with him, I've heard. Is that right? I mean,
yeah,
it's this or this, and
yeah, absolutely, and
because that can happen sometimes, right, with coaches. I mean,
for sure, yeah. At times you're given freedom within an offense to try your things, and I think it's been great that for the most part. He's kind of told us exactly what he wants from us.
And Eric, for you, we've talked a lot about the tackles kind of moving back and forth, seeing how that works out. we've talked a lot about the guards. There hasn't been a lot of discussion about you because you're just like kind of there. I mean, the expectation is you're doing your thing. Is that a good feeling? But is there also a sense of, okay, I've got to work on things too? What are some of those?
Well, I'm constantly trying to get better. I'm a very hard critic on myself, and learning the new schemes, going against a different defense. I've had my rough days out here, and it hasn't been all perfect. And Urbic's been at 2 center, and he looks good. You know, and never for a second am I thinking, well, you know, I got this locked down. I need to help somebody else out more. You know, I'm focusing on myself, my technique, and constantly striving to get better.
Anything in the off season that you changed about your approach to the off season to get ready for this, or are you?
Not really. You know, in the off season, I like to stay in shape. I've been working out with the guys at Louisville for the past few years. I feel like, you know, early in my career, I had to rehab a lot. Not going through rehabs in the offseason these past few years has been awesome, and getting all my strength back, all my flexibility, speed, athleticism, and really confident with the shape my body's in, and you know, where I'm at from a health standpoint now.
You talk a lot about the moving parts. Are there more pre-snap calls for you in this offense than there were last year with Nate?
Not necessarily. You know, we're still making our mic calls, and we're trying to get going in the right direction. With this defense, there's a lot more moving parts, and with our shifts and motions, there's a lot more moving parts, which kind of brings it later in the snap count and can create some chaos. But I know from talking to our guys on defense that it's a lot harder to prepare for.
Without giving away any state secrets, Eric, what appeals to you most about Coach Roman's run scheme?
You know, I love the variety of it. And I'll just reference San Francisco's offense from the past, not necessarily saying how we're going to be different, but in the past, watching them on film, it appeared that on one play they're pitching the ball outside, the next play they have a trap inside, and then they might run a power play, which keeps the defense on their heels. At sometimes it seems like the O-line's trying to play finesse ball and kind of just reach you and scoop you off. And another time they're really trying to knock you off the ball. And for a defense, that's tough to prepare for, and that keeps us on the attack as opposed to trying to beat our head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over and be really good at one thing. We're trying to be really good at a lot of things, and I think that can be really beneficial.
Eric, what stood out to you from this quarterback competition to this point?
I've been impressed with all three of them. They have a lot on their plate trying to learn a new offense, and you know, everyone wants to talk about how there's harder positions than quarterback in football, but from a mental standpoint, there's not one close. And they've all worked to get to this point to where they're getting more and more comfortable each day, and they're all making plays out there, which is exciting. And you know, I'm glad I'm not the one making the final decision because it's going to be a tough one to call.